The UN does not trend unless BTS walks in. Suddenly, diplomacy has a fan cam. No speeches go viral. No resolutions get retweeted unless there's a celebrity on stage.
And in an intro to one of our early albums, there's a line that says, "My heart stopped when I was maybe 9 or 10.
But what does it take to turn global governance into a photo op so flawless it hides the power moves underneath? The rise of celebrity diplomacy. Once reserved for red carpets and chart toppers, celebrity now comes with a diplomatic passport and a cause-worthy caption.
What we need again is a ceasefire, release of hostages, and an all-out effort to get humanitarian assistance into Gaza.
Angelina Jolie did not just wander into war zones for photo ops. Her United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees missions marked a new era of soft power, where star power is carefully choreographed. Bono was not just jamming with world leaders for kicks. He was part of a calculated playbook where fame opens doors that formal titles can't. The UN, long the realm of jargon and resolutions, began trading policy briefs for selfies.
On World Humanitarian Day, we demand an end to attacks on humanitarians and on all civilians,
hoping a touch of glamour might stir the global conscience. As media scholar Dan Brockington explains, these partnerships are not accidental, they are strategic alliances where influence meets agenda. The public, weary of bureaucratic blandness, now craves causes wrapped in culture and delivered with charisma. Climate change gets a soundtrack, refugee crises get red carpet premieres, and global summits trend when a superstar attends. But amid the flashbulbs and hashtags, questions loom. Are these celebrities genuinely amplifying marginalized voices or just fronting performances written by the powerful? Is this grassroots activism or stage-managed spectacle? Either way, the lines between advocacy and entertainment are blurring, and someone's calling the shots behind the scenes. Hollywood's UN secret agent. Still, girl power is not just Jolie's brand. What about BTS? 7 guys with pastel hair have somehow become honorary diplomats in razor-sharp dire. They crash UN assemblies like they are comeback stages, mixing finger-heart choreography with policy soundbites. Where Jolie lands in conflict zones, BTS lands on global trend lists, yet both drop urgency with precision timing. She brandishes briefing folders. They brandish fandom muscle that melts donation servers before breakfast. Jolie airlifts grit. BTS airlifts serotonin, turning geopolitics into a Netflix crossover nobody asked for, but everyone streams. Critics call it cosplay diplomacy, yet army fundraises faster than some governments mobilize. Jolie wields gravitas like a weapon. BTS wields joy like a floodlight, illuminating crises we once scrolled past. One signs autographs in refugee camps. The other sign limited edition albums whose proceeds bankroll United Nations Children's Fund projects. She speaks fluent policy memo. They riff in Korean, English, and emoji, both universally decoded. The UN seats them at the grown-ups table because eyeballs equal leverage in our click-driven agora. A selfie with Jin can outpunch $1 million ad buy, and the UN PR wizards know it. Meanwhile, Jolie's field reports unlock doors where streaming stats don't matter, proving substance still sells. Together they run a relay. Her gravitas cracks the door. Their glitter keeps it open. The real metric? How many policymakers feel enough FOMO to move budget lines? So buckle up. The next Security Council consensus might hinge on a power ballot and a pilot's license in equal measure. BTS and the hashtag End Violence campaign. But behind the backlash-free messaging, what's the real agenda? Maybe it's Hallyu-powered soft power. Korea Incorporated wrapping goodwill in glitter to plant its flag in every playlist. Or perhaps it's big hit entertainment beta testing a new revenue model where every streamed chorus doubles as a donation drive. Cynics insist it's strategic brand armor, shielding idols from scandal by cocooning them in United Nations Children's Fund blue. Politicos whisper that Seoul loves the free diplomacy. One boy band speech can thaw more ice than a dozen white papers. Meanwhile, the UN harvests army engagement metrics like golden data grain, proof positive that youth still click when you package policy in pop hooks. Marketing gurus salivate over the loyalty conversion rates, hashtag to hard cash, in 140 characters or less. Critics fear slacktivism, Yet receipts show millions funneled straight into field programs, receipts that silence many side-eye takes. Still, every selfie at HQ gleams with mutual benefit, prestige for BTS, relevance for the institution. And don't forget the narrative control, bullying, mental health, violence topics chosen because they are universal, tear-jerking, but blessedly non-controversial on the geopolitical chessboard. The army role. Digital infantry, retweeting resolutions faster than diplomats can draft them. Some say it's a win-win. Others see a Trojan playlist smuggling neoliberal vibes under neon lights. Yet if a stadium chant can punch holes in apathy, maybe motives are secondary to outcomes. Or maybe this is the ultimate brand crossover. Humanitarian chick meets fan club frenzy forged in the furnace of viral culture. One thing's clear. In the global arena of likes and leverage, BTS did not just join the game. They rewrote the rulebook in 4-4 time, mic drop included. Soft power and geopolitical chess. When pop stars shake hands with diplomats, the cameras flash brighter than at any summit. The UN loves that sparkle, because nobody retweets a policy paper, but everyone retweets BTS throwing finger hearts at United Nations Children's Fund. Angelina Jolie can stroll through a refugee camp in chic desert-proof linen, and suddenly geopolitics feels like a Vogue editorial titled Empathy. Scholars like Mary Mostafanishad dubbed this the geopolitics of hope, a polite way of saying look here, not at the tanks. Meanwhile, Seoul slides kimchi-powered soft power onto global playlists, proving you can colonize earbuds faster than armies ever crossed borders. Every stadium chant of Kim Nam-joon doubles as a quiet vote for Korean cinema, skincare, and semiconductor trade deals. The UN borrows that glitter like an older sibling rating a younger sibling's TikTok clout for likes. Washington, never one to miss a marketing trend, drapes its foreign policy in Hollywood capes and Marvel-grade messaging. It feels like a win-win. Fans feel virtuous. Agencies rack up donations, and states collect influence points like Pokemon badges. But scroll past the Instagram filters and shadows appear celebrity scandals can torpedo campaigns faster than trolls sync hashtags. Flashy storylines risk flattening complex crises into neat hero-villain arcs, leaving real politics to simmer off-screen. Smaller nations without pop icons play benchwarmers in this fame-driven diplomacy league. Governments might swap actual reform for curated photo ops, gambling on charisma, to gloss over inconvenient war crime reports. And when the hype wave recedes, as every wave does, the people left on the shore still need water, hospitals, and a seat at the table. So yes, it's a glamorous chessboard, but remember, queens fall too if you forget the pawns. Pitfalls, criticisms, and institutional risk? Still, campaigns like BTS seem unstoppable, but at what cost? Critics like Brooke Kerber and Dan Brockington are not clapping along. They argue this celebrity-powered activism often glosses over gritty realities, swapping structural reform for smiley selfies. It's the age of neoliberal citizenship, where caring becomes a curated vibe, and systemic injustice gets filtered through Valencia. Sure, it feels good to double-tap a campaign, but does that replace collective political will with cozy moral applause? When celebs dip like Jolie, who pieced out of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees in 2022 with a time to move on, they leave behind not just headlines but power vacuums. And when they stumble, institutions like the UN get dragged into the fallout, losing their credibility. One bad tweet, one scandalous expose, and suddenly the face of hope is the face of crisis. Even worse, sometimes these campaigns shine more light on star personas than struggling communities. Is it solidarity, or a global PR tour with a conscience? The line blurs fast when compassion becomes performance art. Yes, BTS beams hope across continents, but are we also buying into a distraction from deeper geopolitical inequities? Feel-good can fade fast when reality bites, and glitter does not clean up the mess. Conclusion. Here's the final note. The UN use of pop stars and Hollywood icons is not innocence, it's orchestration. They borrow celebrity stardust to lend credibility to frame global crises in digestible, emotional narratives. It's soft power at work, lightweight packaging with heavyweight intent. And sometimes, it delivers. Jolie's PSVI becoming UN protocol is not small potatoes, but it also carries risks. Tokenism, depoliticization, and brand injuries. In the end, celebrity diplomacy is a gamble. But in today's 280-character, TikTok-fueled world, that gamble might be the only thing that gets people to pay attention. So enjoy the selfies, but never forget, behind the smiles, there's always a strategy. Thanks for sticking around. Like, subscribe, and next week we'll unpack how Fortune 500 companies hire TikTok influencers to influence literally everything. Spoiler, you might already be influenced more than you think. If celebrity diplomacy blew your mind, wait till you see who's headlining your next policy summit. Smash that like button, subscribe for more truth bombs wrapped in glitter, and don't forget to ring the bell, because soft power never sleeps. Next up, can a TikTok dance end a trade war? Stick around, we've got theories and receipts.